Well, hello and happy Monday. Hope you guys are doing great and welcome to Huddle Time. As you know, every Monday we bring you Huddle Time here on Americans Beauty Show, Cosmetology of Chicago's Facebook page, that we have been partnering for over 2 years on this show. Now, this show is we're bringing you guests from all over the world, inside the business, outside of our business. But what our common things that we're doing is to share with you great successes, maybe sometimes not such great successes, some wins of what does it take to build a strong career in this beauty industry, which we all love so much. So we have guests that are thought leaders, salon owners, spa owners, barbershops, any kind of a professional aspects or any hats in this business and how you can be really successful about that. So I'm super excited. We have a great guest here today to share with you and a lot of great tips of how to build a very strong salon or a very strong business, how to franchise, how to grow it, and what does it take to actually franchise it? What is franchising? Is it the word franchising could be at large, right? But what does it take to be really successful of that? So I'm really super excited. And I just wanted to share with you, look at the back. My book is coming out. Profit First for Salons. I'm so super stoked. I can't wait to share with you Profit First for Salons. It's coming out really soon. I'm probably going to launch it at Americans Beauty Show, who are our partners and our sponsors. So thank you, Americans Beauty Show, for being the partners and sponsors of Huddle Time with Ronit. And if you guys have not yet to purchase your ticket and bring your creative minds to the most amazing show this year on April 10th, you gotta do it now. We want to say thank you to Textel, who's been a great sponsor for us. Textel is a two-way communication between you and your guest, you and your team. If you want to check anything about Textel, textel.com has a wonderful way of communicating, and it should be the most, I would say, the best communication relevant to today's communications. And of course, I want to thank Salon Cadence Teaching and Training Company. It's a white glove teaching and training company for salon and spa owners who are looking to scale their business, to move themselves from being stuck at the 6 figures to the 7 figures and beyond. So what is it going to take to do it? Please, if you're looking to find out anything about moving your salon from 6 figures to 7 figures beyond, and why to even do it, we're launching a webinar. It's actually a Streamline masterclass live with me on it. I'll be there personally as answering any question you want regarding the Profit First, regarding the methods, the 5 stages of what does it take to grow your salon from 6 figures to 7 figures, and why you need to do it. Why this whole hype about 7 figures? So we're going to talk about that in that live stream. There's going to be right here on a link for all of that. So make sure you click on that. But today, I want to bring a really special guest. As a matter of fact, I met Joseph about, I would say, a month ago for the first time, but I've heard of Joseph for so long. No, Joseph has been in the industry for a very long time, and I'm super excited to talk about it. Also, Joseph has that kind of a personality that you absolutely fall in love with. And you fall in love with because, well, you'll see why. You're really going to see why. But more than anything, because we really do love to talk about travel. We love to talk about food, and about shop. There's nothing better to talk about shop and giving back. Kind of like what can we do to improve other people's life in this industry? So Joseph Golshani, and I hope I'm not mispronouncing that name, right, is on our show today. Now, Joseph traveled the world to master his craft. He has an eye for beauty and likes to turn something ordinary to extraordinary, and I guarantee that, by the way. His exceptional consultation skills, coupled with his intuition to give his guests outstanding results. In 2009, Joseph wrote the book, Thanks to America against all odds. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today, where we are given the opportunity to walk alongside him as he manifests the dream that he always had as a child. It is a story that we can all share amidst the human collective, especially today. Joseph continued to revolutionize the beauty industry with his philosophy of creative change and its positive effect on the community. By creating specific training program, in which we're going to talk about it today, for his teams, and having such an innovation mind over and over and over again, reinventing and pivoting from one spectrum to another spectrum in order to be relevant to today's world. He has mastered it all in Atlanta. And so I am super excited to bring the CEO, founder, innovative, Joseph and Friends Salon Aveda into my StreamYard. Hi, Joseph. So good to have you on the floor. What a honor.
Wow, what an honor to be introduced by you. You did an amazing job. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joseph. You know, the truth is that I've been doing this for 2 years. I screw up so many times, so many times. I invented words, as you know. I'm bilingual. Actually, I invented so many English words, and sometimes it works magically, and sometimes it works naturally. So this one
You know,
was
the good thing is that we learn the most when we screw up things. That's the that's the beauty of life.
that
So
is the,
if you
and
don't screw up, you don't learn.
you don't, no, these days I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I know that in order to learn, I got to screw up. So what's better than do it at live, right? And be authentic about it.
Exactly.
All right.
By the
So
way, congratulations on your book.
thank you.
Uh, yeah, I love the title. It I think resonates with every salon owners that we are here for profit. We are not a profit sharing.
Well,
We're here for
it will be okay to profit share if we have profit, right? So,
what I actually meant is we are not a charity.
uh,
We're not a charity. We're for profit. So and we share our profit. Once we make profit, we will share.
absolutely. It's so true. We come from um
See, I screwed up right there. I screwed up.
well, you know what? We come from background of giving a lot, and it takes us a while to realize that yeah, we're not going to be doing those haircuts in the kitchen, although there might be very creative haircuts in the kitchen, but it's time to step up our mentality. So I'm excited to be there. Now, what's the story behind that chair? I love that chair. Everybody, you got to see that chair, that shirt. It's I know, you see. Look at that. Look at the heart behind you. Look at the red behind that. And that shirt is amazing. What's the
Did
story
you
behind it?
did you see the red? What it says?
Oh, it's a smile. I
Yeah,
love that. Okay, so you
yeah.
got to just kind of like turn it around and bringing it to the other side. But Joseph, what's the story behind that shirt? Tell me about it.
Well, I figured out is since we just passed Valentine and also uh, we are in a business of loving people and unconditionally. We have to love our clients and I love our staff. And without the two, we really don't have any business. So I
Mm.
thought it was very appropriate to wear this shirt for this interview
Oh, I
and
love
just to convey the message. Um, really, love is the answer. I mean, as the uh, our poet Rumi says it, love is the only answer.
that.
If you ever fall short, just
Love.
think about love. Yeah,
That's true. It's the strongest. It's stronger than any war. It's stronger than any fight. There's nothing more stronger than love.
yeah.
And I'm
And
100%
the older you get, or I usually say, the better we get, the more we understand the truth,
power.
the the quality of love that we can get and give.
Mm,
So
I
it's very
love that.
important.
It's so good. Well, thank you for bringing a lot of love to this StreamYard today. I'm
My
super
pleasure.
Um, you got such an amazing story behind you, Joseph, and you captured pretty much all in the book. We both now know, I know now, what does it take to write that book. It's a labor of love, but it takes a lot out of us to write books like that.
Right.
Um, but I would love for everybody to hear this. If you can give us a summary of the book, and of course, where can we get that book? Because I think every um, every person should have that book, but by the side of their bed. If you can give us a little bit background and where can we get that, that would be awesome.
Uh, um, the story behind the book was that in 2009, when we were going through the recession and a lot of salons were closing, a lot of people were complaining, and I was at a seminar show that I'm sure you know of him, uh, Ray Chavello.
Yes.
He's also a salon owner. He was on stage, and he had a video about himself, uh, about his career and his achievement. And then when he came on stage, he said, "What is your story?" So it got me thinking that I do have a story on my own as well too. So I start thinking about what is my story and how I want to share. And throughout the process, I learned that a life has to be, you have to leave a legacy behind eventually. And writing a book, I think, is the best way to leave a footmark behind. And so, and I'm sure you will experience that as well too, that people are going to read your book and uh, they're going to say, thank you, Ronit, for sharing your wisdom with us. And I felt even if I touch one person's life at a time, I would have accomplished that. And so, and I was fortunate enough that one of my clients was a ghostwriter, and I shared the idea with her, and she said, "Why don't you write, and I will rewrite it for you?" And I told her, "I have a very terrible handwriting." She said, "It's okay. I will figure it out." Sure enough, she could read my handwriting better than I could, and she wrote it for me. And believe it or not, her husband died on September 11 at one of the tower. And so she writing for me. I'm originally from Iran. It was inspiring for me as well too. And some of the people who helped me with the book, they were Jewish. You know, they were from different parts of the world. And I start thinking about what I want to name my book. And you know, I came to America when I was 19, so I was young. I was able to adapt to the American way of life a lot better than somebody who comes at a later age. And I felt such a uh, in depth to America because I was able to change some of the ways of my doings and adapt to the American system. And because of that, I became successful. And so I felt that I owe it to this great country to share my success story with others. Because especially foreigners who come here, we all think at first that there's no way I'm going to be successful here. I don't know the language, I don't know the food, I don't know the custom. And but once you surpass that, then you see all my weaknesses becomes my strength. So America is a melting pot. And one of the things we learned to run our business was that we adapt to that. So our employees are from all over the world. Our clients are from all over the world. And those are the things that I learned. If America is successful and it embodies all these different cultures here, and so I could do it in a small version of it into my business. And that was one of the things that I've adapted. And so, and it has become our strength because before I opened up my salon, I thought there's no way I'm gonna have a business because people don't like Iranians. They call us terrorists and all that stuff. And I felt that saying thanks to America against all odds would be a very appropriate um, uh, name for my book. And sure enough, it has been. And so far, it's sold over 20,000 copies all over the world. And so I'm really proud of that accomplishment. And that's in a nutshell about the book. I hope I answered your question.
You did, and that was beautiful. What a great story. The truth is, I have not read it yet, but I am definitely would like to find out where can we buy it on Amazon or
Yes, you can buy it on Amazon, and this we just published the second edition of the book, which just came out and is online publicist, I believe. That's where you can also get it to your online publicist.
okay? Can I see that? Can you share with us
Yeah,
that?
yeah. This is the new
Oh,
version of the book.
got
I don't have the old version handy, but the old one is a white background.
it.
It
Okay.
doesn't have my big picture in the front, but it
Yes.
does have the pomegranate. If you notice, the pomegranate
Yeah.
has flags from different countries.
Oh my God, I can't. That is so amazing. I
So it
love.
has, and in the Muslim religion,
Yes.
is said that the pomegranate is a fruit from heaven,
Mm-hmm.
and is one of the customs that we uh, squeeze the pomegranate and then we take the juice out with
Mm,
a straw or something.
yeah.
And so my thought was that America is like a pomegranate, and in order to get the juice out of it, you have to understand the different cultures.
Mm,
And if you understand the different cultures, uh, then you will have a successful business.
wow.
For example, you know, Iranians have a New Year, American and Jewish have a different celebration. All different nationality have different
Yeah.
celebration. As a
Yeah.
result, there's different parties all over all year long, and they gotta go to get their hair done for that reason.
You know, I
But
I
if
just love this so much. I mean, I can talk with you for hours just on this alone. And I already see that we're going to do this. And it reminds me yesterday, one of our clients, who actually the first introduction in the book is about it's what started this, okay, the
yeah,
book. And it's the book is all about stories of anybody who went through the change, the transformation of becoming not profitable to profit. And one of the things that he told me when I first spoke to him, his name is Jackson, and he had a dream, just like all of us. And his dream was to, he learned barbering in jail, where a
mm-hmm.
lot of people start their barbering career in jail. It's one of the skills that they learn in jail, and he really wanted to make an impact at people's life and tell them that being a barber can create so much happiness and wealth in your life if you pay attention. And he said one of the greatest things that people don't understand, that the customers that are sitting in their chair are wealth of information.
Knowledge. Yeah,
Exactly. Wealth of information and wealth of experiences and wealth of help. It could be attorneys, it could be psychiatric, it can be real estate agents, mortgage broker, it could be
doctors.
bankers, it could be doctors, it can save your life. And it can say we're not leveraging the relationship that we have of what it can do for us.
Or you could
And that
become your spouse as well too.
exactly, right? And your best
I've had
friends.
many, I've had many stylists that they marry our clients over the years.
What a fortunate space for us to be in. I am super grateful. And you're from um, Iran. I'm from Israel. You're a Muslim. I'm Jewish, Israeli.
Well, actually, I'm not Muslim. I was born Muslim,
And
but
heard it.
yeah. And after, I mean, I even practiced the religion when I was in my young days. But as I came to America and being exposed to Judaism, Buddhism, all different
Religion.
religions, and my intake was that the essence of every religion is the same.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
unfortunately, it gets distorted by some idiots. But but the principle of it is the same.
Yeah.
And I was exposed to this guru from India way back, about 15 years ago, Sai Baba, that he brought the love all and serve all. And when I got exposed to it, I said, well, I'm in the business to serve. And it
Hmm.
doesn't matter who sits in my chair, or it doesn't matter what kind of employees I have. My job is to serve. My job is to love unconditionally and to serve unconditionally. So I adapted to that religion. It's a very simple religion. It has a very small book. It doesn't have thousands of books, thousands of pages in it. But and it's been very inspiring because quickly I can realize if I'm not in that mode of loving, or if somebody says something and I do something that is against that very simple philosophy. And so my religion really is Lhasa, but I respect all religions because then again, my religion is Lhasa, love all and serve all. I love all religions. I go to all, my friends
Wait,
are
how
Jewish,
do you spell it? How do you spell it? L
Lasa,
Lhasa. Love all, serve all.
serve all. Yeah, yeah. You can easily Google it and it will. And actually, I was at about 3 weeks ago. We were on vacation, and we were at Hard Rock Cafe.
Okay.
You know of the restaurants, right? Hard Rock
Yes.
Cafe.
Yeah.
And in big letters on the top of the restaurant, they had love all and serve all. I said, wow, it's interesting. They have love all and serve all. And when you read the story, they talk about that these two guys started the business, and their mission was to make food for everybody and serve everybody. And so they adapted to that. So it was interesting that I didn't even know that Hard Rock had that uh, uh,
Yeah.
slogan, and it made me even proud of our slogan. And we have even made shirt that our staff wears, and if you notice, it says "Love all, serve all," and
Yes.
then in the front it has our logo, Joseph and Friends, and
Love
all
them.
our staff at the salon wears that T-shirts, and uh, every, and every time a new staff comes, they get a package of our shirt and the bags. And we have bags that the clients can, when they get the retails, it has a love all and serve all as well too. So
And how long have you been practicing it in your salon, in the culture?
in the since I wrote the book, I've been, but we have become more aware of it, especially the last 2 3 years. So we made the t-shirts, we made bags, and so we're really enforcing it more.
Okay. That's really, I think that's fantastic. Talking about salon, let's talk a little shop. we the thing about the great generation is that the great generation has gone through so many economical changes, so many destructions, wars, and they do have the grit, and they do have the perseverance. They can handle everything and anything.
Right,
This past 2 decades of generations did not go through all the changes, but we did have a few changes and big economic distresses. This past couple of years of big changes has presented us with new sets of changes. And maybe they're the same after all, and maybe change is always a wonderful thing. Opportunities to enhance, opportunities to elevate. And also, of course, we always have to be careful of the stories we keep telling ourselves to our heads, not to adapt and actually to take maybe opportunities and embrace them.
Right.
In your past experience and the past 2 years' experience, I would love to hear from you. What do you have? And of course, you have opened one salon, expand that salon, then expanded to multi locations. I'd love to talk about that, but before that, what are your um, maybe 3 tips that we can give our future salon owners or salon owners that are struggling to navigate through these changes of what to do in order to thrive and to build strong cultures in their salons.
Great question. I think one of the advantage that I personally had was because I started from nothing, and all my achievements uh, still kept me very humble, and uh, and I think that's being able to be humiliated and still be uh, yourself is very important.
Yeah,
And so, in order to open up a salon, if I was going to do it over again, I would first think with the end in mind. Am I doing on this to be not work behind the chair? Am I here to train people? What is really I want out of this? And I think if you think about it, put 80% of your effort at the beginning, how this is going to look 10 years from now, 15 years from now, is, is the essential to your journey.
absolutely.
There's there's a book called Rich Dad Poor,
Poor
I
dad.
believe, yeah, and in the one of the story that talk about is about two guys that they want to open up a water company, water distribution, and the two talked about it to each other, and the first one said, "Oh, this is easy, just water, like I can do this." And sure enough, he goes with his wife and the kids. They start the water, and they start making money right away. The second guy takes his time. 6 months pass, nothing happens. A year. After about 2 years, he opens up water company all over the world. And so, if you're a businessman, which one is better? Working with your family, everybody, all day long, 24/7, or opening up after 2 years, having a. So obviously, the second guy, he thought it through. He got investors. He talked about the idea and so forth, and he was able to. If I had the knowledge that I have now, you know, back then, uh, I would have been able to do the same thing. But that's why people like you have the book, you're paving the way what to do,
Yeah,
so you don't have to 20 years from now say, oh, what should I do
I
now?
wish.
Yeah,
Or grow or go through the mistakes that we have gone through and
right.
we can
And
eliminate them.
and that's what I mean. I do have some college degree, but I didn't have business degree.
Yeah.
So I learned through making mistakes over and over, and learning throughout the and but the correct way would be study it first and
Yeah.
then open up a salon, because if you don't, then you're going to go through all the ups and down. And even when you look at the stock market, it goes up and down, but you got to look over the 20-30 year span, where
Hmm.
the stock market was 20 years ago and where it is now, or how
Hmm.
much your house worth 30 years ago and how much it's worth now.
Right.
It's the same with business as well too. And but I think a lot of times we don't study what we want to do enough, and then we make a lot of mistakes.
Absolutely. You got to start before you open. And I am a huge believer and a huge advocate of having crystal clear clarity. Why are you why are you doing what you're doing? Why you want to be in this business? What is this business going to do for you? And how and you know the how is easy once you really know what you really want from it and how you want to
Right,
show up, and like you said, with the end in mind. And the end doesn't have to be an exit, although it's good to have an exit plan. But what is it that you're actually looking to gain from that? And when we open our salons, we really don't think like that. So
right.
having the clarity and having somebody help you. And I love the fact that you're actually saying just read and understand what does it take to run a successful profitable business, so you will be already preparing of that. So
It's
great
like,
tip.
it's like a path,
Mhm.
if you're walking down the mountain, there's already a path there for you. So you took that path and you go up to the mountain. So everything that we want in life is really a remix. Somebody has already done it,
Mhm.
and we just have to follow. And something that I learned in a very early stage of my life was I wasn't very good at drawing, and but I had somebody in the class that was good at drawing,
Mm.
and I would copy my drawing off of hers, and but mine would be either smaller or bigger because I didn't want the teacher to find out that mine I was copying somebody.
Mhm.
And but my presentation was better. I would make sure my name, all the surrounding the picture was better than hers, and I would make an A and she would make a B. And I
Mm.
said, and then he or she would come in to say, "Wow, you copied mine, but yours is got an A and mine got a B." And in business, the same thing. Somebody's already done it. I
Mhm.
just have to find out how I can do it better. And I
Mhm.
think a lot of businesses, cars, all cars have four wheels, but all the interior or the exterior is different. And whoever presents a better experience, better look, it's going to win. It's going to win better. I mean, their cars sold for 1 million. This car sells for 20,000. So it's. I had a client yesterday. As you might know, I still do hair behind the chair. I
Yes.
had I had a gentleman who came yesterday, and I did a great consultation. I still do a chair massage on my client. We do as an Aveda salon. We do
Yeah.
complimentary chair massage with the hot towel. The
Yeah.
whole great experience for him. And my average male clients spend about $300 to $400.
Wow.
By the time they buy products, they tip and all that stuff.
Okay.
And I had an stylist, a new talent stylist, when he saw the $100 tip, he said, "Wow, I never thought that guy would tip $100."
Mm.
But it's funny how we uh, judge before it's due,
Mhm.
and we we don't understand that people when they have great experience will spend any kind of amount of money, and I'm
Yeah.
much rather to have work on the 10 or 20% of the clientele than the whole. I'm not here to serve, to a particular group. Even though there are times that I do free haircuts, just out
Yeah.
of, but
Yeah.
just to prove to them my new talent. If you
Yeah.
give it unconditionally, you will receive unconditionally. And
Absolutely.
yeah,
And a good example for that reminds me that back in 2008 to 2010, when we hit our bad economics times at that time, I, Maxime was a luxury salon,
Right.
and every ticket was 300 and up.
Right.
And my biggest fear, anticipating, because obviously I went through the 2001 and I went through, other economics, I knew that I'm going to be competing my business in hard times with all the salons down the streets that are like a third of our price.
Yeah.
And I was worried. I was really worried. But you know what we did? We elevate the experience and we never changed the prices. We never changed the prices. And so um, I was worried about losing clients for sure, but we never did. We
Yeah.
actually, our retention was 85%. And that's to demonstrate, um, the whole experience. People at hard times did not want to change. People in hard
Right.
times wanted to be nourished and loved
Exactly.
and needed to have a good conversation. And you know, the only things that we thought maybe would be changes is maybe they push the appointments in between to longer weeks. And
Yeah.
but even that did not change. They actually wanted to come for
Yeah.
shorter time, more time. So yeah.
And to prove your point, that's why people go to nice restaurant. They spend, three god amount of money, but an hour later, there's nothing to show for. But what an experience! You go to a salon for 1 hour, somebody works on you, makes you feel good. You look good for the next 4 to 6 weeks, and that's priceless. And
Yeah.
people don't mind. They don't mind to pay for that. Not only they're getting some sort of therapy, but they're being massaged. They're being listened to, and they're being attended to. So it's there's no price on that, and
Hmm.
people don't mind to pay that kind of prices. And
Absolutely.
a lot of times we think because I wouldn't do it, somebody else wouldn't do it, and I think that's the problem that a lot of people have. And uh, and I think once you come from abundance, then it will come back to you as well too.
Mhm.
If I give unconditionally, it will come back to me twofold as well too.
Oh,
And
I
uh,
agree. I
and a
agree.
lot of people just they think if they give, they will be taken advantage of. So what? Yes, maybe 2 out of 10 will take advantage of you, and but I had an experience a while back. I went to a Home Depot store, and this guy brought a ladder to the stores. It was beat up ladder and everything. Uh, I said, I hate this ladder, and I don't want this ladder. The guy at the front desk said, no worry, just go and pick up another ladder. And I said, whoa. And now you know how successful Home Depot is. Now every department store that you see, they have a return section that people take their returns to that section because they know if the customer has a great experience, they will keep coming back.
Yeah.
But if the clients come and say, "Oh, I don't like my hair," and I say, "Well, tough luck. You got to live with it." If I,
Yeah.
attend to them, they will come back to me.
um Talking about that, not only excuse me, that you actually thrived in the past few years. um what can we say to these salon owners that are fearing the independent movement, the resignation movement? How can we convince them, or how can we speak to their pain and reduce the fear? What can we do to teach them and share with them that this has not been any different than what happened 10 years ago,
Yeah,
20 years ago? And how can we benefit from all this change and transition to build
yeah,
a great company with an amazing staff?
yeah. Just like you said earlier, we have to uh, stick to our ground and keep giving better service, and the training never stops. And because I've been in the business for a long time, I see some of my staff that they left and they went to boot rental. Now they're coming back. I have some that after 10 years came back. I have one that came back after 15 years because they finally figure out that being dependent, it doesn't grow them. And I have people left, if at the time when they left, they were charging about $50 for a haircut. And when they came back after 15 years, I asked them, how much you charging now? Well, I'm charging 55. Oh, if you had stayed in my salon, by now you would be charging over $100. So they figure out, eventually they're going to figure out that it's not beneficial to them being independent. And this is a wave that is going to eventually slow down. And I think the truth of the matter is that the new generation is the generation that wants everything now. Is the and is a now time. I want everything now. I can't wait. And once they do it, then they realize that I have to pay for my own training. I have to pay for my own product. I have to pay for taxes, all that stuff. And then again, we go back to the end in mind. Do I want to be a business owner or do I want to be a hairdresser? A great hairdresser. If I want to be a great hairdresser, you cannot you cannot be behind the chair 24/7 and run a business. And and that's simple as that. Is the wave. I mean, we never stop our training. Our training, no matter what has happened in the economy, our training has been happening. Even sometimes we had one or two trainees, we still did it. And things, if you stick your gun, it will come back to you. You just have to toughen it up. And there are great times, there are bad times, there are either or. But if you just stick your gun, you will be successful.
Mm.
But you can't give up. You have to understand what are you here for, where you're going, and sometimes you go there slower. But if you have a plan, you will get there. Make a plan and follow your plan. Follow your dreams.
Follow the dreams. Exactly. I love that. That's just super amazing. Now, you have um, ventured out to having multiple locations. What's
Yeah.
the difference between franchising, licensing, and because your model is more of the Starbucks model, where primarily you own all your location. But for anybody who wanted to grow to the next location and the following location and really maybe even franchising, what do you think? What worked great for you and what will be the best practice to do that?
Well, as I grow, and I had hairdressers that they wanted to open up their own place, and I came up with the idea that what if I have a partnership program that if you understand how we do things and you're in line with our mission, I would have you as a partner. And these partners, usually monetarily they have to contribute, and they become 49% partner, and we own 51%. And three of my salons I have partners, and two I own it outright. And the advantage of partnership is that because I have dedicated
Yeah.
partners that they attend to the daily task for the business, and they're just like me. They care about the business, and my job is to still promote the salon, recruit, and I do the training for the cutting. And I have a other people who educate for the color portion or the styling portion of it. And I have through this partnership, our brand has become stronger. And my partners are from different parts of the world as well too, and they bring different ideas and different strength to the table.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to them the other day. I say, usually if you're a solo salon owner, you're always seeking out information from other salon owners to see, or why are they slow today, for example, or why are they busy, or what kind of practices they did that it made them busier. So we, among five of us, we can talk back and forth and understand, what we're doing right, what are we doing wrong, and so we really don't have to go outside that much anymore to get information because each partner brings different strength to the table, and I've noticed that that really helps our brand to grow. And and it's not easy because
Mhm.
you have different. But I've learned that our differences is what makes us strong. And if you convey that message at the beginning, because we're all not going to think alike, we have
Right.
to sit down, talk about it. Sometimes we might have to have a little argument, but you have to understand again what's the end in mind. We want to
Yes.
become stronger. We might run into challenges, and we will talk about it. We respect each other, and we go forward. And I think that uh, making sure that we have communication ongoing basis. At least we try to meet once a month at either somebody's salon or somebody's house. We meet and talk about things, and then we do the same thing with our staff. I mean, communication is really the key. One of
Yeah.
the things that we use in our salon, we call TLC, teaching, learning, and the C stands for a few things: communication, caring, continuously. And
Yeah.
if that stands, I think nobody said it's going to ever be easy. I
No.
think, but even if you own other type of businesses, it's never easy. And as
It
you
is.
said earlier, I have a lot of clients that are business owners, and I talk
Yeah.
about them. We all have the same challenges. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if I have the president of Comcast has been coming to me for 30 years, and when we talk to each other, he has uh, thousands of employees, and they have the same challenges that
Same
we do.
challenge. Yeah.
Same. I
Yeah.
mean, they still lose employee. They all want raises. They all want, same thing. So
Everybody, at the end of the day, what you're saying, I'm actually kind of looking for my headset. But at the end of the day, um, there was a time when I was sitting at the chair. And just like you said, you have to realize, do you want to be a business owner, a CEO, or do you want to be a hairdresser? You got to
right,
choose. You got to choose. Depends on what you're looking to actually grow it to. But if you're looking into creating, if I chose business. At one point, I chose business, and the reason why I chose is because one day I noticed two things. I noticed that as I was doing my clients, colors, cutting, I looked at the mirror and I saw them talking, and I heard them talking, but I saw this woman behind them, and she was saying, "Yeah, yes, yes," but I heard and listened to nothing. Their story was here and went right past me. And my thoughts were somewhere else. And it's been like this for a month or two. My thoughts were somewhere else. And at the end of the day, I thought to myself, if I'm not present with what I do 100%, then I'm not fair and I'm not good enough to have this amazing person sitting in my chair. And
exactly.
that just was not right for them. And I looked at my staff and I saw them doing exactly what I was doing. I saw them running like chickens with no heads, doing exactly what I was doing, running like a chicken with no head, and a million of things. And I had to make a choice. Do I want my staff to be in the pattern of what I was doing, which is not healthy? Do I want to continue doing all of that, which is not healthy for my business and for my staff?
Exactly.
I made a choice. I said to myself, okay, well, number one, I'm going to fix that girl behind that chair in front of the mirror. I'm going to make her be devoted 100% to her company. Boom, made decision. But what I did learn, Joseph, was that my whole staff wanted exactly what I wanted. And that is to make a nice income, to have a nice time with their family, to travel, to enjoy their life, and not work 24/7 and not have a life. And so that's when I realized that my staff are really not just employees or staff, they're shareholders of my company.
Exactly.
And I need to provide that for them. And so I think that we don't look at that when we enter this business. And it takes us a long time to figure this out. And that's where the choice needs to come. So I love that you brought that on. I do. I love that. Um, this has been such an amazing interview and so much great conversation. It's not really an interview, but typically when I come to that time, I always ask 3 questions, Joseph. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. If you were in an island and you had to bring with yourself 3 things to make yourself happy in an island, what would you bring?
My wife and
Yeah.
my kids and what else I would bring? Probably my dog.
Check, check, check. All good. I love it. Um, if you could gift your best person, your best friend, a book, what book would that be?
Obviously, I want to give my book, but over the years, I think Book of Love. If there's such a book, I think Book of Love is really uh, would be the best book to give to anybody. And I'm sure there are books that talks about love all day long. I know Rumi uh, is really, but really love is the answer. Is
Yeah.
uh, if if you learn how to love yourself first,
Yeah.
maybe you got to love yourself first because then by loving yourself, you teach other people the same thing as well too.
Yes.
And so the key is love, and I think there's no question about it.
That's awesome. And the last question, if you could sit down in a dinner with 5 guests, who would you like to sit down with?
If you're asking me today, obviously I want one of them to be you,
I love that. Thank you.
because we relate. Uh, the other one, I love Leon too. I'm sure you learned Leon. Leon
Yeah,
is
absolutely. With my whole heart.
yeah. My wife, obviously, my wife has to be present in all my my endeavor, and the other two that I have late Edwin Neal. Um, I respect him a lot. I learned a lot from Edwin. He was the founder of Neal Corporation and the distributor of Ada. And the other person that I enjoy talking to is uh, Van Council. He has quite a few salons in Atlanta as well. He and I, we always have good conversations.
I love that. I have not yet to have him on Huddle Time, but I would love to have him on Huddle Time. I think it's going to be also fun to talk about sports because he's a big sports person and
Yeah,
so am I, and I would
yeah.
enjoy
He
that.
like he likes outdoors, so do I, and
What do
he's
you
very
do?
athletic.
What do you do for
But
outdoors?
but I still do play soccer. I used to
Yeah,
play semi-professional back in Iran when I was younger.
yeah.
And when I
Wow.
came to America, I played in college and then I kept on playing.
Right.
I still play and I do play tennis. I do bicycling, swimming, name it. There's not a really sport that I don't
I
like.
love
I pretty much like them all. Yeah.
Well, this has been so inspiring, Joseph. I just can't thank you enough because you just made my whole weekend, if not many weekends. So thank you so
Well,
much for
but
being
you
here.
made mine as well too. I appreciate you, and I do learn myself from your experiences as well too, and that's why I'd like to have a dinner sometimes.
We're gonna. I'm gonna make sure this is gonna happen sooner than later, for sure.
Gotta make sure Leon is here.
For sure. I am
He,
actually. I'm actually having dinner with him and Madeline and a couple of more people tonight with him. So I'm looking.
awesome.
I'm looking forward that, and I'll share this with him